Minnesota media's disgusting gun control theater, gaslighting the public after the Annunciation massacre, while the real criminal syndicate laughs. Phillip C. Parrish, candidate for governor of Minnesota 2026. Listen up, Minnesota. Last August 2007, 2025, a deranged 23-year-old named Robin Westman walked up to Annunciation Catholic Church and School in Minneapolis during morning mass, the very first week of school, and unloaded 116 rounds through the stained glass windows in under 2 minutes. Two precious children, Harper Moisky and Fletcher Merkel, were murdered in the house of God. More than 20 others were shot and will carry those scars forever. Westman, no prior criminal record, legally purchased his guns, left a manifesto dripping with hatred for Catholics, Christians, Jews, Trump, black people, Hispanics, pretty much everyone except other mass shooters he idolized. He ate his own bullet in the parking lot. The FBI called it domestic terrorism and a hate crime. That was 9 months ago. Now the Minnesota Senate just rammed through SF 4067 on a 34-33 party line vote, a so-called sweeping gun safety bill that bans so-called assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, ghost guns, binary triggers, and forces law-abiding citizens to register their rifles or face felony charges. $20 million in school safety and mental health crumbs tossed in for show. The DFL machine and their captured media are treating this like the second coming of salvation for our kids. It's not. It's theater. Cheap, sick, fear-for-profit theater, and the Minnesota Press Corps is the willing stage crew, gaslighting you with every headline in Chiron while the real criminals who run this state keep their pockets full and their street-level enforcers armed to the teeth. Let's call it what it is. The same DFL Syndicate that turned Minneapolis into a gang-run war zone with catch-and-release justice, defund the police hangover, and non-profit slush funds that launder your tax dollars into political power is suddenly pretending they care about gun violence the moment it fits their disarmament script. These are the same players who look the other way on daycare fraud, COVID relief theft, election rigging, and every other racket I've been exposing as a fraud whistleblower for years. Now they're exploiting the blood of 2 little kids murdered at mass to push unconstitutional garbage that violates the plain text of our constitutional republic's Second Amendment faster than a grifter can cash a state grant check. And the media, oh, they're all in. Fox 9, the Star Tribune, WCCO, the whole rotten lot, running wall-to-wall coverage framing this as common sense safety while they bury the truth. Robin Westman wasn't a gangbanger dodging background checks. He was a manifesto-writing lone wolf radicalized in the same moral sewer the DFL and their cultural allies have spent decades creating: family breakdown, spiritual rot, zero accountability, and an online cesspool they refuse to drain. But talking about that doesn't sell fear. It doesn't keep the grift machine humming. So instead they pump the panic, shame law-abiding farmers, teachers, churchgoers, and parents who just want to protect their families, and pretend the daily illegal shootings in North Minneapolis by the very thugs the DFL protects don't exist. Shame on every so-called journalist playing along. You're not reporting. You're complicit. You're the public relations arm of the organized crime network looting Minnesota dry, political, nonprofit, corporate, and street level. While you chase ratings and clicks off dead children, the real predators, the ones with switches on their Glocks and no fear of consequences, keep the streets running red. Your fear-for-profit grift doesn't save one life. It just keeps Minnesotans divided, disarmed, and distracted from the racketeering happening in plain sight. Enough. This isn't about left or right. This is about right and wrong. This is about a constitutional republic where the rule of law actually means something, where we prosecute the networks, not the grandparents who own rifles, where schools are secured by armed good guys who know how to stop evil in its tracks, not more feel-good funding that disappears into nonprofit black holes, where mental health is real accountability and spiritual renewal, not another grift bucket, where faith can flourish without fear because the culture stops glorifying killers and starts honoring God and family again. Minnesotans, farmers' fathers, teachers, churchgoers, working people, are done with the theater. We're done being gaslit. We want a state where kids can go to mass without wondering if today's the day some manifesto lunatic shows up, where honest citizens aren't treated like criminals while the syndicate street soldiers walk free, where the press actually holds power accountable instead of carrying water for it. That's the Minnesota I'm fighting for as your next governor, a place where truth cuts through the lies, justice replaces grift, and families can thrive under the protection of real law and order, rooted in the faith that built this state and the Constitution that guards it. Lord Jesus, have mercy on the victims of Annunciation. Give their families strength, and give us all the courage to expose this darkness and rebuild what's been broken. No more theater, no more gaslighting. It's time to dismantle the syndicate. Phillip C. Parrish, candidate for governor of Minnesota.